I'm going to show you exactly how to invest in mobile homes with no money down. Coming up. What's up guys, Steve with Steve Invest, helping real estate agents, real estate brokers, as well as real estate investors grow their businesses with a path towards financial freedom. Today we're going to talk about basically a no money down, no money out of pocket, low risk option for buying mobile homes. It's a very unique strategy. I'm going to bring you through one of these parks right now. We're going to cruise through it. Alright, if you haven't watched my other video on the 2 different types of parks, you might want to check that out. I'm going to put it at the end of this video. You're going to want to digest that video just so you have a good understanding as the different types of mobile home parks that are out there and the differences between what's park owned as well as lot rent. Just to summarize real quick, what we're looking for in this strategy are investors who own the entire mobile home parks, who do not want to own the structures. So they basically just want to collect the rent from the lot. So it's an ample opportunity to basically play a middleman in this scenario. So some mobile home parks are actually owned, the individual lots are owned by the individual owners. Those are not the mobile home parks that we want to look for. We want to look for mobile home parks that are investors own the entire park. They own all the land in the park. We want to search for those. If you're having difficulty trying to find those, you can search on your local property appraiser site if they have a website. Many of them do. And you can search mobile home zoning, and then you're going to want to find the parcels of land that are basically on one strap, one PID. You could always go down to your property appraiser office wherever you live and see about getting a list. You might have to pay 25 bucks to get a list of all these mobile home parks in your area or surrounding areas. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go and individually visit every single park that's on this list, and you're going to go in, you're going to talk to either the manager that's on site or the owner. If there's no office on site, many of them don't have offices, you're going to call the phone number. Many of them are going to have a rental phone number on a sign, a vacancy sign, and you're going to want to give them a call. You're going to want to meet up with them, and you're going to ask a series of questions. Number one being, what is the lot rent? If they say that they only have structures available for rent, meaning that's park owned, where they actually own the structure, they want to keep the structures, the actual park owns the structures, and they don't want to sell the structures, then those mobile home parks are not what we're looking for. And find out what the lot rent is, and then ask them if they have any structures in their park for sale. Okay, that's number one. If they do have structures for sale, explain to them what you're doing. If they don't have structures for sale, then go cruise around the neighborhood and see if there's any for sale signs in the yard or the windows, and see if any individual owners of structures are trying to sell them, and call those owners as well. All right, doing a quick search on Craigslist here, and I put the price range from $100 to $5,000. The reason why I did 100 is because there's a lot of them that are priced at 0, so this will make your search go a lot easier. But let me just show you this one for an example. Beautiful 1-1 mobile home, asking $5,000. The Winter Haven area. Take a look at the pictures real quick. I mean, it's not a disaster. It looks like it's currently being lived in as well. Doesn't look too bad. For sale by owner, 1 bed, 1 bath. Little mobile home, needs nothing, just bigger place, no furniture, and no AC, so you gotta account for that. Lot rent $350. Includes water, trash, lawn maintenance, asking $5,000. We need to sell within 10 days, no reasonable offer refused. Oh, many times you can get them really cheap, especially if they just want to move out and get out of their lease, because again, a lot of them are locked into a lease for lot rent. And in many cases, the landlord will let them out of their lot rent obligations if they find somebody else to take over the lot rent and take over the structure. So it's twofold. You want to seek the individual owners for the structures, or you want to see if the owner of the park actually has structures that they want to sell or even give away for free. That's right. In some cases, you can actually get these structures for free from the park, because at the end of the day, they don't want to mess with it. They don't want to mess with getting it into rentable condition. And they just want to collect their lot rent. They don't want to mess with leaky toilets. They don't want to mess with you know, soft flooring or leaky roofs or anything associated with the structure. They don't want to mess with. And again, those are the parks that we're looking for. And keep in mind, a lot of the owners of these parks, they want somebody like yourself to come in and kind of bail them out. And keep in mind, if they have structures that are really in bad shape, and you can utilize this as a negotiation point. So for example, if let's say you got the structure for $1,000 and it's in rough shape and you got to put some money into it, don't worry, we're gonna show you exactly how to buy these with no money down. But you have to put a lot of money into it. You can negotiate with that owner or that manager of the park for maybe some free rent, depending on the scope of work. It could be 2 months, it could be 5 months, it could be 6 months. You want to present yourself as the professional coming in and saying, hey, you know what, we're on the same page, let's work together. I'm gonna help you make your park look better. You can tell them some of the strategies about what you would do on the outside of that structure. For example, new landscaping or fencing or skirting around the outside, new paint, pressure washing, and so forth. Anything that's going to help the exterior of that property look better, that's going to work to the favor of the park owner. And as time progresses, as you guys build a relationship, the park owner's probably just eventually just going to start giving you more and more mobile homes that they acquire. The owner of the park obviously has a lot of incentive to work with you, and then your incentive is essentially you own the structure, you figure out fair market value for the structure for rent, monthly rent, minus the lot rent that you're obligated for is the spread on it, and that's what you're going to get. So let's jump over the board and dive into the numbers. All right, guys, let's assume the cost of the structure is $1,000 for the acquisition. Let's say the renovation is $2,000. Total price $3,000. And let's say the lot rent is $300. Market rent for renting the structure out is $600. That's going to give you a net return of $300. So your initial investment is paid back within 10 months. Now for a no money down strategy, let's say you have a goal of $600 monthly goal coming in, not using any of your own money. You find 4 investors with $3K each. Split profit 50-50. Be $150 each per person times 4. $600 a month. The name of the game would be to reinvest the $600 back into acquiring more mobile homes. And if you took the $600 per month within 5 months, you could have your own mobile home, or go out, seek out more investors to come up with the $3,000 or whatever your current market bears in terms of the acquisition as well as the net income per property. Now let's talk about some of the pros and cons associated with this. The pros, obviously, there's a big demand for affordable housing. There's a lot of people that are on fixed income and need property that's going to be affordable to rent out. And in many cases, you're going to have a waiting list for your inventory. The second advantage to this is it's very low risk. It's not like you're trying to buy an entire mobile home park and take on debt and big amounts of debt. So it's very low risk at the end of the day. And the third thing, as we mentioned, it's cash flow. It's good cash flow. Now, some of the cons associated with this strategy is, yes, you are dealing with old structures. They're gonna have a lot of issues associated with them, and you know, you're gonna have to deal with leaky toilets and roofs and soft spots in the flooring. There's gonna be a lot of ongoing maintenance, so you need to be prepared for a lot of work, and it's gonna be advantageous if you have some sort of construction background. And one of the other cons is anytime you're dealing with affordable housing, many times they're on paycheck to paycheck, and so you will have some struggles collecting rent. You will have a certain amount of evictions that you're going to go through. It's all part of the business. All right, some pro tips. Number one, get general liability insurance. Last thing you want to do is have somebody slip and fall in your structure and try to sue you. So you want to have a good amount of general liability insurance. Talk to an insurance agent. The second pro tip, and especially if you're just starting out, once you have identified a unit that you're gonna buy, especially if this is your first one, before you lock in the deal, tell the owner of that structure, whether it's owned by an individual or the park, that you need a night or 2 nights to think about it. And then what you do is take some pictures of that unit, throw some ads on Craigslist, and see what kind of action activity you're getting at your market price that you've come to figure out. Last thing you want to do is buy this thing and think that your spread is going to be, you know, $300 a month, when in actuality the pricing that you're using isn't going to drum up any phone calls. So this is opportune time to go ahead and place ads, and then obviously you can get people lined up to rent the property out even before you're done getting it prepared for rent. The third pro tip, be your own maintenance person initially. The reason why I say this is, yes, you're gonna have to spend the time. It's gonna be time taken away from going and finding another deal. Now, if you become your own maintenance person initially, you're gonna have a really good idea of the cost of material, the cost of labor, how much time it takes to change a toilet out and so forth. This way, when you do hire a maintenance person or even a full-time maintenance person, you know exactly how much time it's going to take, and this way you're not getting overcharged for anything as well. Last thing you want to do is get overcharged, and then you know, it's going to just eat into your profit. The fourth pro tip, as I mentioned earlier, is make sure that you're trying to negotiate with the owner of the park if you're buying that structure from them. Even if you're not buying the structure from them, you can say you're interested in possibly buying the structure from Nancy Sue, and you want to see what kind of deal you can work out while you're renovating the property. And remember, keep in mind, you're going to talk about everything that you're going to do to the exterior of the property to make his or her park look even better. And the fifth pro tip, you know, a lot of these mobile homes are in really bad shape. They're old. There's no point in putting new material in these mobile homes. We want them to be nice and clean and presentable and functioning, but you can get so many good deals if you search around on used stuff, even stuff that's coming out of houses that are being renovated or demolished, or old buildings. And many times you can get nice carpeting from these, used carpeting from houses that people are putting in tile or whatever the case is. So make sure that you're buying used, and you know, I highly recommend on all these exterior and interior paint. I mean, just paint alone is gonna make it smell fresh and just look a lot better. So paint can go a long way, but again, material wise, make sure that you're buying a lot of used materials. And also, as time progresses and you get bigger, you build up your inventory, you might eventually get a storage unit where you can just start storing stuff that you do buy. Hey, I get it, guys. There's some of you that are gonna be like, how in the heck am I gonna find a mobile home for $1,000? And you might be thinking, how am I gonna renovate a mobile home for $2,000? All I can say is, if there's a will, there's a way. And be sure that you check out the video at the end of this clip. We're gonna talk about the different park types between park own and lot rent. I'll see you there. Appreciate the support. Thanks.